Hello, we are Teen Men, and you are watching Chagua Music on your screen.
Well, we came up with the name Teen Men, Albert and I did, by looking at old Playboy magazines. We were, you can take it.
Yeah, we were in the studio, and there's a bookshelf with a bunch of old magazines, and some of them are Playboy, so you look through them every once in a while, and it was an advertisement for clothing. I think it was like 1967, 68, and it said, the new summer line for boys, men, and teen men. And it just, that kind of jumped out at us as an interesting, phrase or name.
Yeah, so then we decided that probably should be the name for this project. He's a video maker, and I'm a music maker, and we had both sort of finished these pretty intensive projects, physically intensive, emotionally, mentally intense projects, and we were just ready to try something that had no consequences, free and easy experiment, collaboration. And we just sort of decided let's try and do something, make some music and some videos at the same time and see what happens. Sort of see what make some music that informs video, or make a video that informs some music, and sort of see what happens from that.
Yeah, real spontaneous, just for having fun with no end goal or anything, but to get together and have some fun.
Yeah, so we did that, and we made 3 songs, and then we ended up going off and doing other things. And then about a year or so later, we were back in a similar situation, and I just went in the studio and decided to, I'm gonna go in the studio today. And I emailed all my friends hey, going in the studio to make some music, who wants to show up? And it was Joe and Albert were the ones who showed up. And so then we just started making again, and that sort of happened over last summer, just over May and June of last summer, making some music. And then after a couple songs in, we're this sounds like it could be Teen Men again.
Yeah.
And then it sort of grew into that, and Catherine came in to play keyboards and sing vocals around that time, and that's what happened.
We came up with it because that's sort of a teen man's dream, to have an apartment in the city. We were really thinking of Theo Huxtable and that scene with him and Mr. Cosby where he's taking away the money. He gives him the Monopoly money, and then he says, all right, you need to pay rent, and then you need to have a car, and then he says, I'll have a motorcycle, and he takes back part of it. So that's how we came up with it.
It's from the pilot episode.
Of
the Cosby Show. Yeah, just to clarify.
And
where
Theo thinks he can leave and be a regular person in the real world.
And get an apartment in the city.
And then get an apartment in the city, and Cliff Huxtable lays a few truth bombs on him.
Yeah, I think it ends with him, they say, ask if you're going to have a girlfriend.
For sure.
Yeah, and then he takes away the rest of the money.
Yeah. And it was a really
classic.
fast choice. We decided to put it out, I think, the night before we put it out.
I like hiding records, I feel. I'll take that one. We got
Okay.
4 people here,
Okay.
so.
I'll take Renee. That was one of the first songs that we did, and it was kind of this is an actual real song. This is not just jamming for fun.
I'll take the sea, because that was a really fun collaboration we all did. I remember all together July 4th, 2013, Albert, Catherine, and I went in the studio and did that song in one day, and that was really rewarding. So that was fun to me.
I guess I'll take what's left.
All Rushing Back.
I'll take It's All Rushing Back.
The only one left.
It's a great song.
You always love that song, haven't you?
Oh,
I love it.
Yeah, so the EP was sparked just because we had sort of collected a series of songs, and we're just getting antsy and wanted to share them with people. So Catherine mentioned, it was pretty spontaneous. Screw this, let's just put some of these out. So we did, picked 4 and went with it. And the writing for the songs kind of varies. Some of them are sort of fully formed songs by one person. That song Hiding Records was kind of more a traditional song that I wrote a song and then brought it in and we recorded it. But then other songs like Renee or The Sea, those are a lot more collaborative, and that is kind of been the most fun for me too. It's just acting fast and having someone there who is not a normal collaborator is fun because it like makes you make different decisions. So those have been kind of fun. More collage based, like build up some sounds, tear them down, build them up again, and write music lyrics over them.
And what Nick was saying earlier, there was like one song where we were working on the video. We play, you know, with video behind us. We were working on the video before the lyrics had been written. We knew we had a show coming up, so we had to, you know, get the video in line. And working on the video informed the lyrics, so that was kind of a cool, you know, usually you do it the other way around, have the song done and then work on the video, but getting the images came first and then putting them into the song.
Yeah, we were just sitting in his apartment and playing the song and then scrolling through different video files he had collected on his computer and then seeing what looked cool, and then eventually we realized a pattern, like, oh, images of the body look really cool over this whatever rhythm, whatever's happening. So then that was like, well, let's write a song about that, all that. Team Men we're a pretty new band, so we haven't played that many places, but Mercury Line is always fun. There's a place in Philadelphia, Boot and Saddle, which is always a good time.
Probably played there the most of any place.
Yeah, we have. So those two are holding a good spot in the world.
I liked Rough Trade.
Oh,
All the equipment was really new, and it sounded very nice.
Good Wi-Fi there.
Fancy. Yeah, great Wi-Fi.
Really good Wi-Fi.
Really good.
What was that place? Oh yeah, the Bug Jar in Rochester.
Oh yeah, that was
It was
cool.
a good show.
The Boot and Saddle was one of our first like legitimate feeling shows, kind of, with a nice like nice equipment and a good crowd and stuff. That holds a spot in my mind.
I like going back to the Bug Jar. One of our friends who watched the show afterwards said, "Oh, I really love that show. It was like watching TV, going to church, and watching stand-up comedy all at once." And I was like, "That's pretty cool."
Yeah,
I'll
good
take
thing.
it. That's a pretty weird space to be as a band. I like that.
I always remember Columbus, Ohio was a particularly interesting night on the tour. I guess I got bit by a dog there, so that one stands out in my mind personally.
Oh yeah.
It was alright, just a little flesh wound, but you know, you don't forget that.
You don't forget the blood.
Yeah.
When you spill blood.
Yeah, when blood gets spilled, you remember that, sure.